Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a home day edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCORoofing.com. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. All right, y'all. Hope your Hope your week's going great so far. Hope your Wednesday is off to a fantastic start. Um, LSU baseball beats UNO last night. Slow start, but boy, once they got going, my goodness, did they get going? 16-0, another shutout for the Tigers. No run rule in effect, so they did play the full 9 last night. The Pelicans got destroyed by the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers had a 3-point barrage. I believe they set their franchise record for 3-pointers and a half in the first half, and it was really bad. And the Saints have re-signed Michael Thomas. So all the conversations from Derek Carr when he was introduced, and Michael Thomas tweeting "Thank you Jesus" and all that stuff, was pretty much evidence that he was looking to return. So Michael Thomas back on a 1-year incentive-laden deal. Saints were going to have to sign a receiver anyway, or receivers, honestly. And could you get someone? Could you get someone 30 years old with the ceiling, the ability that Michael Thomas has for that contract, a 1-year deal, $10 million, incentives up to 15? Probably not. Now the question is, could you get someone who's far more reliable and durable than Michael Thomas, who you can better believe is going to be on the field? Yes. So if Michael Thomas plays, $10 million is a bargain. However, there's nothing to suggest that we believe Michael Thomas is going to play and going to be available. So anyway, hopefully he is. Hopefully he is. Hopefully it works out splendidly, and this offense churns next year. So, all right, we'll say some good mornings here. We appreciate you as always for being here. I'm going to continue doing this. I'm going to drop the Best of 225 link in the comments. If you haven't voted yet, would really appreciate it if you did. Your boy was nominated for Best Radio Personality, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, nominated for Best Radio Station. So really hope that you could take a quick second, click the link, and got it. And vote. Okay, let's say some good mornings. Brant Roban, Scone, do you think LSU sweeps A&M? So Brant, it is very hard to sweep in conference. It is harder still to sweep on the road. So I'm going to say no, but I do believe LSU wins the series. I think I think what you really would love to see is LSU sweep the home series and win your road series. If you do that, you're going to be in a really good spot. So the thing about A&M too, I'm pulling up. Hang on one second. I want to pull this up for y'all. So A&M course, was in Omaha a year ago um, under first-year coach Jim Schlossnagle, longtime TCU coach. So they're well coached, and they were a big surprise in the league a year ago. A&M, but A&M right now, A&M can pitch it. They are really struggling offensively, though, and it's supposed to be freezing in College Station this weekend. Like literally, I think temps in the low 30s on Friday night. So that may neutralize some of the offense and benefit the pitching. Now, of course, you have Paul Skeens going, so you should win with Skeens on Friday. And then, if you're able to win with Skeens on Friday, can you split the next two? I think that really is your charge going into the rest of the weekend and try to win a road series. But A&M, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Offensively, their team is hitting 279. That's 13th. Only Vanderbilt has a lower team batting average right now than A&M. And as far as ERA, they are 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 5th in staff ERA now. LSU second. So, look, LSU's a juggernaut. There's no question about it. But A&M's well coached and they can pitch it a bit. So, to think you're going to go on the road and sweep is ambitious. So, see if they can just go win the series, right? Cajunomics, good morning. Why suspend a guy for something he did at another school? So he's asking about Will Wade, who McNeese suspended Wade for the first 5 games. My guess, Cajunomics, is that was done to pacify the NCAA. And that was probably something that was agreed upon before they hired Will Wade. I don't know if they'll say that publicly, but it has to have been. I can't imagine, I'll say this again, I can't imagine that McNeese would have hired Wade without assurances from the NCAA that he was going to be able to coach, meaning no show cause. And maybe this is the olive branch. This is the maybe this is the opportunity to sort of meet them halfway. So I think wasn't Bill Self suspended? I think Kansas suspended Bill Self. 4 games. So same thing here, right? So Bill Self was suspended 4 games because of the FBI probe into college basketball. So, and they imposed several recruiting restrictions, etc. So they suspended Self 4 games to start the season this year. Okay. McNeese is essentially doing this. And you may say, why? Because he's at another school. And I understand that. But again, that wouldn't preclude the NCAA from popping Wade with a show cause. Brian Wynn, Trivia Carter, good morning. Jesse Brown, morning, Matt. Missed morning Scone yesterday. Got in a car accident, but here now. What free agent defense player lost for the Saints do you think is most significant? Well, Jesse, first, hope you're okay. Glad to see you back here and hope you're all right. Free agent defensive player that's the biggest loss, I would say, I'm still going to say David Onyemata. And I know Caden Ellis had a really good year last year. I think there is still a bit of prove it over the longevity. And it may turn out that Caden Ellis is another Trey Hendrickson, a guy that was a rotational player here, flashed when he had the opportunity, but didn't have a large sample, goes somewhere else and proves, no, he's really good. That may happen. But with Onyemata leaving, I think he's still got some gas left in the tank, and that leaves you. And the thing about Ellis is you already have DeMario Davis and Pete Werner. He wasn't going to be a starter anyway. Would he have been your number 3 and a rotational guy? Absolutely, but he wasn't going to start. Onyemata was a starter on the interior, and now that's left you completely barren on the interior defensive line. So I'll still say Onyemata. Casey Smith, let's hear the GME excitement. I'm excited, Casey. As you all know, we have pegged a Q3 launch. And Q3 is coming to an end here in a couple of weeks. So today's the 15th. Yeah. So we should have some news for y'all here within a couple of weeks. And I'm really excited for what the developers have done. David Mailer has worked his behind off on this thing. Like, He is the one literally every single day on the phones with the developer pushing this thing forward. He is the one who is self-funding the whole platform. Um, he's the one who's had the creativity and the ideas behind a lot of the changes that have, been made as the process has unfolded and evolved. And I think y'all are gonna love it, man. I really think that the idea upon inception, I was bullish about. It's why I went so hard in it the way I did. I love the idea, and I think it's a winning idea. The execution has been even the execution of what it looks like. I mean, the manifestation, I should say, um, is I think even better. So I am excited, Casey. But let's get it launched and see if the market responds to it. Cliff Nelson, morning, Scone. How did the Fighting Kim Mulkeys get a 3 seed to a 2 seed Utah who won 3 less games and 2 more losses? I have no idea, Cliff. I would be lying if I told you I've watched a single game Utah's played all year. My guess is RPI. Don't know. I mean, and honestly, man, I think sometimes, and I think this is true of the men's tournament, the women's tournament. I think sometimes we get really caught up in seeding, or there's disrespectful. I'm more interested in the draw, and I think LSU got a really favorable draw. So I don't care if you're a 3 or a 2, you're playing in Baton Rouge your first 2 games, and you're gonna have to play. If LSU was a 2 and Utah was a 3, you'd still have to play eventually anyway, and well, likely in your bracket, and just go win. Just go win. Wendell Norman, Reed Rule. Pell season's over. Do you worry about LSU's level of competition so far this year? Reed, look, it's a valid question, but I also understand, like, you're not going to play a ranked team every weekend. So it's more at the beginning of the season about, which is why I'm thrilled they went and played that Round Rock Classic. I'm glad they went and played at Texas. They challenged themselves, you know what I mean? And so you learned a little bit about your team. And I think we've also seen this team now get healthy, and we've seen them do exactly what they intended to do with the pitching staff, which was get Thatcher Hurd into the weekend rotation, which he is now. We've seen Ty Floyd's maturation, development, ability to throw multiple pitches. So I'm excited about baseball. David Coslin, Kelly Gross, Lowell Cormier, still wearing my Hudco hat. Thank you, Lowell. Appreciate that. We were slinging Hudco hats at the Renaissance on Friday. By the way, y'all, tomorrow, first day of March Madness, a day full of broadcasts at Pluckers on Bluebonnet. So OTB from 7 to 10. Hanny and Ott are going to be in Biloxi at the Beau Rivage. But OTB 7 to 10, Hunt Palmer 11 to 1, and then AFR. I'm sorry. No. Sorry. Hunt Palmer 1 to 3. Excuse me. Hunt Palmer 1 to 3, AFR 3 to 6. All live from Pluckers on Bluebonnet. So y'all come hang out. We'll have drawings and prizes and food and drink specials and games on all day. So y'all come out. Stephen Ruckman, what's going on? Lawrence Burley, good morning. Bubba Smith, Darren Reeves, good morning. Bob Poole, Brant Roban. Wonder where LSU sits stat-wise nationwide. We top 5 in all categories. You think? Well, I mean, we could look it up. I mean, probably not, quite honestly. So let's look at team batting average. New Mexico leads the country at 368. LSU is 8th at 337. Let's look at ERA. Team ERA, Tennessee leads the country at 217. LSU is 4th at 242. This one's probably going to surprise you. Let's look up home runs, where LSU is not going to be in the top 10. LSU is 18th in homers right now. So you got to keep in mind, man, there's over 300 teams playing Division I baseball, all at different levels. mean, UNO scored 35 runs in a game the other night against Mississippi Valley. So let's wait till you get a larger sample size. You start getting into conference play. You see batting averages come down and ERAs go up. That'll tell you a little bit more. All right. Deborah Coward, good morning. How's Drew feeling? Thank you, Deborah, for asking. He's feeling well, thank you. He took him to the doctor yesterday morning. We had to give him some medicine to make him fall asleep for his EEG. But ended up kind of napping, past noon yesterday. So, but went to Miracle League last night and did really well at his Miracle League baseball game. So, wake him up here in a few minutes and get off to school. So, but thank you for asking very much. Paul Losi, good morning. YouTube, do me a favor, smash that like button if you would. If you're new, please subscribe up to the channel. Facebook, please like the Matt Moscona page and share this post. We appreciate that as always. Reed also had asked about, or he mentioned the Pelicans season over. I mean, look, whenever I told you I disengaged emotionally when they lost to the Magic a couple of weeks ago. That was a had-to-have-it game on your home floor against one of the worst teams in the NBA, and you lost. They're going to win some, they're going to lose some. And listen, by the way, the next two they play back-to-back games at the Rockets, who are the worst team in the NBA. And then you get a home game against the Spurs, who's the second to worst team in the West. And then you play Charlotte at home, who has won 22 games this year. So you should win your next four. Like you should. You should win your next four. And so you go on a little run, you're going to bump back up in the standings. But again, this is what they are, man. They're just, it's just what they are, And look, Brandon Ingram played last night, which I was happy to see. Scored 22 points for you. It just didn't matter because the Lakers hit. I mean, AD was awesome. Scored 35. He had 35 and 17. The Lakers led by 35 at half. They set a record. The Lakers were 18 of 39 from three. They were 15 of 27 at halftime, which set a franchise record for threes made in a half. Think about that. The Los Angeles Lakers set a franchise record for three-pointers made in a half yesterday. I mean, that's why you're down by 35 at halftime. So, Rapping Batches, good morning. Randall Offrett, good morning, Matt. What's your prediction for LSU and SEC play? I think they go 25-5 like Tennessee last year. 25-5 is really ambitious, man. I think I picked them. I'll need to go back, and I did make a prediction. I want to go back and to the beginning of the season, see what my prediction was. But I think I picked them at 20. It was either 21-9 or 22-8, and I can't remember which one I picked. But I'll stick with which one I picked. I'll go back and listen to it. I don't want to be moving the target. I'll go back and listen to it, and I just don't remember offhand. Brian Wynn, Matt, how do the Pels manage the loss of salary money to Zion, who always seems to be injured? You don't. I mean, you got him on a max contract. You need to get him healthy. Jason H., good morning. I mean, you could always go into the luxury tax, but Trivia Carter's Tommy Tank's playing third this weekend because he played first last night. Yeah, he did. He started the game at third, Trivia. He may have, let me see if he moved last night. He started the game at third last night, 100%. And maybe they got Merrifield in there late. Candidly, when LSU hit the barrage after White hit his homer, and they put up like it was no score in the fifth, and then the barrage came. Hang on, because I'm telling you, Trey White started. Trey White. I need to not do that. Trey Morgan started the game at first. So no, Tommy White played third. So Tommy White played third, then went to first when he replaced Morgan, and Napolt went from second to third, and then they got, who did they get in the game at second base? Dugas started at second. And then they put Merrifield in at second. And then Merrifield went from second to left field. Oh, geez. I just was not paying attention by the end of this game. after the 7 spot. They put up the 3 spot in the 5th, which was the Tommy White homer, and then they put up a 7 spot in the 6th. They laid down a couple of bunts, and UNO was throwing the ball all over the field, and Gavin Dugas hit a homer, which was an absolute missile. And so after that, it was 10-0 after the 6th, and I checked out. So they put up a 6 spot in the 8th. Let's see. So anyway, to answer your question, who was that? Oh, that was trivia. Yeah, so Tommy White started the game at third, and then when they started having all the replacements, he moved over to first. So no, he's going to play third. All right, let's see. A few more minutes here. Brad David, it's funny when Scone and when T-Bob starts talking science fiction stuff, you look lost and aggravated. I am lost and aggravated. Tim Gotro, Weston Weaver, Greg Acosta. SEC schedule is here. A lot of work left to be done. There will undoubtedly be bumps in the road. That being said, this team is poised to be one of LSU's best ever. Christopher Laurie, with solidifying the quarterback spot and Michael Thomas coming back, do you see the Saints solidifying running back spot, be it draft or free agency? Both. I think they need to add a veteran, and they need to draft a running back. I think they need to draft their future at that spot, their future Alvin Kamara. But I think they need to add a veteran in the role that we've seen Ingram and Latavius Murray play in recent years, the big physical back. Both. Because you're still going to assume, I think, you're going to miss Kamara for 6 weeks. And if you miss Kamara for 6 weeks, you can't go in there with one back. So you need help there. Keith H. Morning, Matt. Saw on TV someone with a Hudco had in the box last night. It was not me. I'm curious who it was. If you have it, please screen grab it. Where was it? Where did you see that? If you ever see that, screen grab it, send it to me. We'd love to share those on social media. We're slinging Hudco hats everywhere. I'll have some Hudco hats tomorrow at Pluckers. Kevin Thomas. Hi, this is Kevin Thomas. And I hate Matt. Okay. That's the Shack. They got it. Got my best of 225 vote in for using my mom's address in Port Allen. I live in Ohio, but still got your back. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it very much. That's so good. This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt. Got it, Kevin. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And thank you for voting. All right, let's see. A few more. Tad Page, Matt. Q3. Q1 ends in a couple weeks. Just trying to keep myself straight. We were talking Q1 2023. Q1 2023. Maybe I misspoke. Sorry. Larry Garner, Shelby Kelly, healthy Michael Thomas with something to prove is good for the Saints. I love this deal. But the problem, Shelby, is Michael Thomas was healthy going into last year as well with something to prove, and he played 3 games. At some point, people's bodies just start breaking down, and I think that's the reality with Michael Thomas. The Saints don't want to acknowledge it, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think that's just what's up with Thomas. His body's breaking down. Leon Williams, what's going on? Where are we? Will they kick Peyton Turner inside and draft the big kid from Clemson? Also like the thought of re-signing Rankins. I would be fine with re-signing Sheldon Rankins as well, who, by the way, is a free agent for those that missed it. As far as kicking Peyton Turner inside, I think you'll have multiple fronts. And we've seen that before. They kick Cam Jordan inside, right? So, yeah, I don't think Peyton Turner is going to be a full-time defensive tackle, no. Thomas Lamont, can we give Alex Milazzo a shout-out? Looks a lot better at the plate this year, so glad to see it. Yeah, Milazzo has been great. And by the way, I'll say this. I know I have been a fan of Milazzo's for a while. And I totally understand, by the way, why Brady Neal is starting. He's been fantastic at the plate, and defensively he's a very good player. He's more complete. Milazzo defensively is what we've always talked about. Is how he's had the great defense, and if he could hit a little bit, he could be a big leaguer. And the way it was described to me was, bullpen catchers in the major leagues make about $750 a year. And they're basically bullpen catchers, and then when they need work, they send them down to AAA to catch a game and then send them back up. And it's like Milazzo, I had a scout tell me Milazzo could do that for a decade if he hits a little bit. He's just got to hit a little bit. before last year, he worked a lot at traction with Terrio, and was, if you go back and watch the beginning of the year, he was having very productive at bats, and it was showing. He was better offensively. And then he had the meniscus injury and basically missed the rest of the year. So we never got to see it, right? And then they bring in Neal and Jones and Fry, and so they're using Milazzo right now primarily like as a defensive replacement, which is great. So you don't get the wear and tear on Neal, and you can kind of platoon there, and you're still getting Milazzo a lot of work. But yes, he's the bat and the ability to hit to all fields, the patient approach at the plate has been very encouraging. So let's see. Hunter Picard voted for you, Bob. Thank you, Hunter. Appreciate that. Jonathan O'Neill, good morning. How about the small ball last night? Bunt Nation. No, don't bunt. Hit dingers. I don't care that UNO plays like a third grade team and throws the ball over the yard. Swing away. Hit dingers. Shelby Kelly, good. Oh, I already said Murray present, yes. Austin Berneman, should the Saints trade up for Bijan Robinson? No. And the reason, Austin, is it is a deep running back draft. There's no reason to trade up for a running back. And I like Bijan Robinson, but there's no reason to trade up for a running back in this draft. Clint, morning, Matt. Why wasn't there a run rule like all weekend? The teams have to agree to the run rule before the game starts. And if it was not agreed upon by both teams, then the run rule is not in play. The mercy rule is not in play. Let's see. Milazzo's been hammering the right center. He's been hitting to all fields, which is the most encouraging thing. Instead of being a dead pull hitter, just rolling over the ball and grounding out, he's been patient, staying back and hitting the ball to right field. Yes, absolutely. That is essentially what they spent all last offseason working on with him. And if you actually go back and look at the beginning of the season last year, that's what he was doing. And they got hurt. But yes, it's very encouraging to see. Mark Vitanovich, Charlie Cavell. All right, I got to go, y'all. Bob Poole, Terrio picked him 24-6 in the SEC. You were somewhat less convinced at the time. I'm not saying I was less convinced. I just think 24-6 is... I mean, the SEC is still really good, and it's still baseball. I don't think people realize just how absurd it is what Tennessee did last year. Rode Yule, Dylan Cruz on base 3 out of 4 times last night. Stupid at this point. It is. All right, I got to get going. Bart St. Germain. Matt McGuire, good morning. Okay, I got to go. It's 8 o'clock. I got to go. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Need an orthopedist? Go to Brock. Need a roof? Call Hudco. Restored Motions. If you have pain, book a session with Crystal Poche. ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. Electric vehicle chargers, home or commercial building. ProChargeEV.com. Okay, one more time. Let me drop the Best of 225 link in here. If anyone hasn't voted yet, would sincerely appreciate it. And y'all have an awesome day. AFR 3, Scone and Tea tonight at 7 at Oliver Twist. Hope to see a lot of y'all there. If not there in person, you can watch us on the Watch 145 ESPN YouTube channel. Okay, y'all have an awesome day. We'll see ya. Peace.